we want to talk about the panel skirts. So this is the traced out pattern, and I am going to use the colored pencil now to bring these lines out. So you just connect the lines, the waistline, these will not be as straight as like that because it's curvy, so you just do it that way. Okay. Okay, we are going to adjust the M line here. Why? Because remember we came in by 2 inches here and we came in by 1 inch here. So the slits here, don't forget the slits here. Then your darts, don't forget the darts here. But at this point I think we should just remove the darts. I'm already teaching you how to remove that. So when you want to remove the darts, whatever is A is what you're going to remove, and that's just 0.5. You will remove it here, 0.5, unlike here where you're going to remove just the 1 inch. So you can do that on your paper. Then, like I said, we are going to adjust this back. We are bringing out 1 inch back because we just want to deal with the straight skirts now and not the pencil skirts. So please don't be confused. This is the real line we are working with. Okay, so panel skirts now. Panel skirts, like I said earlier, is just the normal 6 pieces we used to know, and this is simple. The line here, just bring it out down here, and if you remember, I said earlier that the dot line, we have the dot line by dividing our nipple to nipple by 2. So nipple to nipple divided by 2, I have my 18 divided by 9, my 18 divided by 2, which gives me 9. So it's the same 9 I'm going to bring down here to give me a straight line. So centimeters, don't forget that. This is it. And our measurement is always from the center front and center back. So this place, don't forget side front. This place is the side back, and please don't forget that you cut and fold, except you need this line to make a particular pattern, but you will always cut and fold here. Okay, so I have my nipple to nipple measurements here for 9 centimeters, and I'm coming down to the center back here to measure the nipple to nipple 9 centimeters too. This is just to make our straight line. So don't be confused. Okay. Yes, we've drawn our lines down. The next thing for us to do now is to come up a little bit, like either by 5 inches or 4 inches. This all depends on the length, the new length of the person. If you're working with the person's exact new length, then you should come up by 4 inches. But if it's lower than that, you can increase the inches you're coming up with. So I am using 5 inches here. Then I'll just measure the 5 inches here to make a straight line. This is just to pencil it better, like to have a correct penciling pen. So by this side, we are going to be coming in by 1 inch again. You know all these styles that can I quickly make a sketch? Okay, let me just quickly make a sketch here. This is the hip, this is the hip side, and you know you are coming in this way, the tie, coming in this way, the tie, then you're coming out again like this. But this is not just on the nail is still somewhere here, the nail is still somewhere here, so that is why we are coming up to pencil it in a little bit so that the shape will come out well, so that we're going to have a perfect shape of whatever thing we're dealing with. So here we want to deal with the 6 pieces. The 6 pieces. This is the center fronts that we are dealing with now, and these are the side fronts. The back is back, this is just the front. I hope you understand what you're saying. So this side, okay, let me just label this one here is this one here, but we are going to cut it on fold. So whenever we open it, we are getting this 2 here is this 2, like you will understand it better when we are done. So don't let me move faster than myself. So with this, I hope you are getting what I'm saying better and clearer. So these points, you're joining it back to the hip line here. These points, you're joining it back to the hip line. Then we are going to divide the darts. So I would advise that you just leave your darts without removing it. That would be very, very good, like it will pay us that way. So we're going to extend whatever our dart is, we're extending it down. Your panel skirt can be a very long skirt, but here we are working with a short skirt, so it could be very long. So instead of you to just remove 1 inch directly from this place, you can remove 0.5, then share the rest here. Or if the extent at which you want to go in is like 1.5, you can remove the 1 inch here, then the remaining 0.5 you are removing it here. But please don't make it too tight that you won't be able to walk. So when you're trying it at the first time, just gauge, be at the safer side. On the safer side, come in by 0.5 here and share the remaining 0.5 here, then join the lines together so that we'll be able to dismiss what we do not want. So I'm bringing 0.5 here, 0.5 here to join. Okay, sorry, that will be 2.05, not 0.5, sorry, 2.05, 2.05, so that the joining, so that we won't have a sharp point of joining. Of our lines. So we are going to be cutting this out with that. So I just used this place to explain when we want to remove our darts, so you don't necessarily have to remove it on a panel skirt. When we get to the yoke skirt, we can remove it and you can still leave it depending on what you want. But me, I am going to remove it on the yoke skirt so that you will understand better what we're talking about. Okay, so whatever you're doing here too. So you are also bringing the remaining darts here to make a straight line and not make the line bulge out when you want to sew, like the pointed lines. You're going to have a pointed line if we do not blend it this way. Don't worry, I'm going to cut everything out so you'll be able to see what we're talking about in a plain way. So that's it about panel skirts. So we have 1, 2, 3 here and we have the 4 here. So you're cutting one of these. You cut 1 when you want to cut your clothes. You cut 2 when you want to cut your clothes. You cut 2 here. You cut 2 here. So you're cutting only this place like 1 because you're cutting it on fold. It's just like you're also cutting it in two ways, like you're cutting two of it, but because it's unfolds, that's why we are saying that you're cutting one. I hope you understand that. Okay, so we're just going to extend our lines, but before we extend our lines, I just want to bring the concept of A-line skirt before we continue. Like, just imagine that you're coming out back, you're coming out back by like this. Like you want to extend your skirt, you want it to be a bit longer, you're coming out, and whatever the principle you applied for hairline skirt is what you're going to apply here. Now whatever remains here is what you're bringing back to make a curve, to make a curve, to make a curve. Whatever you're bringing, whatever is here is what you're taking back here to make a curve. I hope you understand that. So you're going to have this fitted skirt, something like this. Then you see the curve lines here. See the curve lines. Then you're going to have something this way. Then you have your panel skirt, your 6 pieces panel skirt, your 6 pieces panel skirt, and you would enjoy your clothes, your Owambe clothes, your normal church wear, or whatever wear that you want to use it for. Even for bridals, you know, people use it for bridal style. So don't forget center front, center back, center front, center back, side front. So just watch as I cut. Our slit is still there. I'm not removing it. That is if you still want it to be there. But if it's a short skirt with no fleece, it's advisable that you leave the slit. But if it's the normal Owambe clothes that you want to make, like extending the skirt downwards, you are going to cut off the slit because you won't need that, as the other side of the clothes would be free. The slit is just for you to have ease when you are moving. So you're cutting these lines again. And okay, and another thing I would love to talk about is that you can always have a bigger paper. You can always have a bigger paper to work with. So it's because we did not get a very big paper to work with. That's why we're joining lines, and we have to make do with what we have. So you can join lines, or you get something bigger than this to just work on straight up. So let me just cut it this way. That's just an example. Okay, so we have these are front parts, then these are our back parts. We've removed this away. Then we have this. This is our pattern that we're cutting back, like we're joining back. So please, when you want to join, okay, we are cutting this place too. Remember, this is the borderline, so this place is not part of our cloth. So we're cutting we'll be cutting this way. And please be very careful when you're cutting so that you make a straight cut and not cut into the normal cut pattern that we have. So don't forget, you have to put your sewing allowance here, that is SA. Your sewing allowance here, it shouldn't be more than 0.5 inch. You're putting your sewing allowance here too. Then this one too shouldn't be more than 0.5 inches, but for the sake of mistake or any adjustment, you can use 1 inch. When it's more than that, your clothes becomes kind of big and it bulges out. Then your side back too can have 1 inch. Then your waistline 1 inch at 0.5. Here we have 0.5 too. Please don't forget where you're going to put your sewing allowance. It is very, very important. For the zip side, you can have 1 inch for the zip side. That's for the zip side. So SA. Then for your M line too, please don't forget your sewing allowance here at the M line. You can have 1 to 2 inches M line sewing allowance in case you want to bring out. So thank you very much. That will be the end of our panel skirt line. So you just watch out for the yoke skirts, which we're going to do right now.